Fair enough. Mike, hang tight with us for a second. We are going to turn to BMO's Evan Seigerman for his reaction to President Trump's new tariffs on the pharma sector. Some pretty big numbers, but then Eamon Javers is telling us bilateral trade agreements will be honored, so maybe not as bad as feared. And it doesn't seem like the stocks themselves are really worried here either, Evan. Explain to us why.
Exactly. So it's a 100% tariff, but it doesn't apply if a pharmaceutical manufacturer is building or has broken ground in the United States. And literally every company I cover that sells drugs has manufacturing here. So I'm sure there's a carve out. And then, of course, there is, to your point, that 15% bilateral trade agreement, which would supersede any of this. So it's more, I think, bark than bite at this point. But when you look at what a potential tariff would be, is it on the API that's imported, on the cost of goods sold? I think the biggest issue is if there were a tariff on, say, a transfer price, which could hurt a name like Merck. But again, they have manufacturing in the United States, so all of this seems moot.
And what about sort of the materials? I mean, if the final good, the medication is made in the United States, what about what's brought in to actually make that? Where does that stand?
Sure, there could be a tariff on that, but that's such a small portion of the cost of a pharmaceutical product. I mean, the gross margin on these products are 85, 90+%. So that API component is maybe a percent or two, so 10, 15% on a percent of the overall cost isn't a ton. Again, we're not super worried. We're more focused on the IRA negotiated price list, which is coming up next month, and of course, any potential drug pricing negotiations pegging our prices to those prices outside of the United States.
Got it. That all makes sense. Where is sort of your thesis for the strongest names, knowing that we still have a lot of question marks to come here, as you point out?
For sure. So we still like Lilly, but it's not our top pick. We're really bullish on Gilead. We think that their long-acting PrEP launch is going well. We also highlight top, favorite names like Vertex, for example. Pfizer also, we love the deal that they did earlier this week. I feel like they're starting to get out of the doldrums that they have been in for the past year and change, but we do need to see execution there.